Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope everyone's doing well. Today is August 2nd, 2019. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about the death of a member of the Kennedy family. This woman's name was Saoirse Kennedy Hill, and it said that medics were called to the Kennedy compound yesterday at Cape Cod, and they were unable to revive Saoirse, who has been announced dead at the age of 22. And in this video, I'm going to talk about numerology and how this event was related to the black moon that occurred this past week. Now, numerology is actually very simple. We look at dates on the calendar, date numerologies, and date durations. But a hidden component of numerology that many people don't know about is called Gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words. And when you pay attention to the numeric values of words, phrases, dates, things like that, you find alignments with the calendar and astrological events, such as a black moon. And this is what I discuss on my channel, very consistent, use the same ciphers and measurement techniques. And if you're familiar with my work, this video will indeed be a really good one. I believe, anyway. So here's just a quick a blurb on CNN about the black moon that occurred on July 31st. And a black moon only occurs once every 32 months. A black moon similar to a blue moon, whereas a blue moon is the second full moon in a calendar month. A black moon is the second new moon in a calendar month. So both of these, again, occur once every 32 months approximately. And then a day after the black moon, within about 24 hours, we get the death of Saoirse Kennedy Hill. Now, before I get into the numbers, just a real quick blurb on Saoirse. She does have a bio that contains her birthday that I was able to find. So we are going to look at her birth date there and measure to that, see what's so significant there. What's also interesting is that she has a different name listed, Saoirse Roizen-Hill. So with her last name being Hill, you know, her mom was a Kennedy, and that's why she also has this name. Most people don't carry their mom's name with them, but when you're a Kennedy, I guess you do. But her middle name was Roizen. So we're going to look at the gematria of this and see how both of these names tie into this and bring it all together. And the first thing I noticed about this middle name, Roizen, first of all, it has that RO code. The letters RO, R the 18th, O the 15th. This sums to 33. And, of course, Robert Kennedy, her grandfather, also, his name began with the RO. 33. We'll get to that number in a second. But notice how Roizen has the same numbers, 84, 39, and 78, as Robert. 84, 33, and, 39 and 78. As far as her given name, Kennedy Hill, notice how this sums to 119 in the alphabetic order. Meanwhile, her full name, Saoirse Kennedy Hill, sums to 205. And this brings us to the black moon that occurred the day before her death. In the alphabetic order, the black moon equals 119, just like Kennedy Hill. And in the reverse alphabetic order, where Z is assigned 1, Y is 2, through A is 26, the black moon equals 205, just like Saoirse Kennedy Hill. But that's not all. Also notice the reduction values of the black moon, 47 and 61. This is where prime number relationships are very significant. Notice how the 47th prime number is 211. Using the alphabetic order, the name Saoirse Roizen-Hill, her first, middle, and last names sum to 211. And if you measure from her birth date on May 22nd to the date of her death, it was a span of 2 months and 11 days. This 211 is also the gematria of ritual human sacrifice, 211. Now, the only number we didn't look at yet, as far as the gematria of the black moon, is 61. Well, the 61st prime number is 283. Now, there's another significant cipher called Francis Bacon gematria, and this method uses capital letters. So the small letters get 1 through 26. The capital letters get 27 through 52. Very logical method. Saoirse Kennedy Hill with capital letters equals 283, the 61st prime. And also consider that in Jewish gematria, the cipher based on the Latin alphabetic order, the value for the moon is 283, just like her name. So very simple. You know, a black moon the day before, and within 24 hours, the death of someone who's coded completely with the numbers of the black moon. As far as the black moon that just occurred, the moon-sun conjunction, which is what we call it when the moon is within 10 degrees of the sun on the ecliptic, ended just within about an hour of medics being called to the Kennedy compound. So let's take a look at this name again. Saoirse Kennedy Hill. In reverse reduction, this sums to 101. Makes it interesting that she was at the compound where the medics were called. Compound equals 101. And when she died, it was 10 weeks, 1 day after her birthday. At 10 weeks and 1 day, also 71 days. And Kennedy compound sums to 71. And also notice how Kennedy compound, remember this is all about Robert F. Kennedy here. I mean, granted, it was her granddaughter that died, but the relation is simple as seen through the headline. This sums to 226 in reverse. RFK's full name was Robert Francis Kennedy, which equals 226 in the alphabetic order. So we touched on the importance of the moon, and if you're familiar with my work, you know that the moon and death are coded very similarly. Consider how death equals 38 using the alphabetic order. In English Extended, the cipher is similar to Jewish, but constructed using the current 26-letter alphabet. Death equals 218 in this method, so you get 38 and 218. In Hebrew Gematria, the word for moon equals 38 and 218. And probably should have had this ready for you. But indeed, you can verify this on the calculator yourself. In Hebrew Gematria, the word for moon, 38 and 218, just like the English values of death. And it's easy to see the symbolism, the moon, as this recycling system, so to speak. But I'll save the mysticism for a different video. As for the date of her death, August 1st, this was a date with tiny numerology of 19. Of course, we are in the year 19. 8 plus 1 plus 1 plus 9 equals 19 as well. Notice how RFK sums to 19 in reverse reduction. Also the name Robert Francis Kennedy sums to 109 using single reduction with the S exception. And this is interesting because when you write out 19, it equals 86 and 130. This is similar to the name Saoirse. Her name equals 86 and 103. Also, the phrase black moon, summing to 86. Notice how black moon has overlap with Saoirse in 3 of the 4 base ciphers. Saoirse also with that 19 overlap. In fact, her last name, Hill, equals 67, the 19th prime number. So it's no coincidence here because the number 19 is extremely significant to the moon. Every 19 years, there's a reset in the sky where the moon goes to the same spot in the sky in the same phase. This is a result of the Metonic cycle. Again, almost exactly 19 years, syncing up with 235 lunar phases. And something else I picked up on. Earlier this week, I did this post. I didn't make a video on this, but I did a post talking about the death of an Ironman athlete. And it was really strange because I noticed, even before I made this post about Kennedy, I made a connection to Kennedy. First of all, the woman's name who passed away was Oswald. And, of course, who killed JFK? Lee Harvey Oswald. And I just noticed that because this story came out 504 days before the eclipse. Kennedy equals 504. JFK 54. And this was on a date with 54 numerology. The victim's name sums to 54. She was in a triathlon in Columbus, Ohio. All of these things equal 54. So how strange is it that just within a couple days, we get the death of Harley Race, just after the death of a woman at an Ironman race? And then the woman's name was Oswald, which connected us to the Kennedy story, and now we get the death of a Kennedy. This is the kind of thing that really makes you wonder what the mainstream media is up to. In regards to the Metonic cycle, notice how Saoirse Kennedy Hill in Jewish Gematria has this value of 886. And that's very similar to the Gematria of Metonic cycle, which is 668. This is a simple number permutation. In fact, her full name, Saoirse Roizen Kennedy Hill, equals 127, just like Metonic cycle in ordinal. The name Hill in Jewish Gematria also equals 57. That's interesting because moon equals 57. The moon travels 57 degrees of declination off the ecliptic. Now, looking again at Hebrew, the moon equals 223 in Hebrew Gematria. 223 is a prime number. This is the number of months in the Saros cycle, which allows us to predict total lunar and solar eclipses, or any eclipses for that matter. And her death fell on a date with primary numerology of 48. The Latin name for the moon, by the way, is Luna. That sums to 48. And in reduction, the word moon equals 21. August 1st also had numerology of 21. And those numbers are interesting because Robert Kennedy himself was born on a date with 48 and 21 numerology. And on the date of his granddaughter's death, he would have been 4,888 weeks old. So there you have the number 48 with a couple extra eights. And I know what you're thinking. Well, gee, Derek, that's not the same number. That's not 48. That's 4888. Well, look, this 888 sequence, this is tied to the pi riddle. Think about how 3.14 in Jewish Gematria sums to 888. In this number, you have 6 circles, which sums to 609. Pi equals 69. But pi is actually 3.14. And using the reverse alphabetic order, Robert Francis Kennedy equals 3.14, or 314, I should say. The next part of this video, try not to extend this too long, but there's something to be said about the ritual sacrifice code. Again, this death was on August 1st, the date written 8/1. In Gematria, the word ritual equals 81 both forwards and backwards. The phrase ritual sacrifice equals 154. Notice how this number is found in the Gematria of both Robert Francis Kennedy, using the English extended method, and Saoirse Roizen Kennedy Hill, using the S exception. Both of these names summing to 154. Now notice the value of 73. This is also the sum of sacrifice and ordinal 73. The story made national headlines a span of 73 days after her birthday. The name Saoirse Hill, also 73. In fact, Saoirse Hill, she's got the 127 also, which I did not document. Her full name, 127, like Metonic cycle. Anyway, Saoirse Hill equals 170 in reverse. That's the same as sacrifice. And Saoirse Roisenhill equals 248 and 211. Human sacrifice, 248. Human ritual sacrifice, 211. So no matter how you write her name, you're going to get multiple connections to this code, this very, very bizarre code. In regards to the moon, also understand there's a 33-year cycle that syncs up the 12-month lunar calendar with the 365-day solar calendar. So the number 33 is significant to the moon as well. In fact, the other Hebrew word for moon, I believe it's Lavana, sums to 33 in Hebrew. The name Kennedy equals 33. Notice how Kennedy Hill equals 561, which is the 33rd triangular number. Add every number 1 through 33. Earlier we mentioned the ordinal gematria of Robert Francis Kennedy, 226. This number is heavily connected to 33. When you write out 33, it sums to 156 and 141. Both of these numbers sum to 226 in ordinal. Of course, 33, we documented this is a number of sacrifice. Jesus crucified at age 33 under an eclipse, which equals 33. Well, 33 equals 156 and 66. Robert Kennedy equals 156 and 66. He was shot by Sirhan, 66, and then he died on the date June 6th, written 6/6. Also, Robert Kennedy, 156, this is a significant number. The 156th prime number is 911. And check out the gematria of Kennedy Hill, 119 and 911. So, I mean, these people are so connected by the numbers. There's a little bit more here, but I'll leave those to the prying eyes who want to check out my blog. So thanks to everyone who jumped in and helped contribute to the live stream. Of course, they say she overdosed. They also said she was depressed. I don't know, guys. I mean, it's pretty clear that some people are being murdered by this code. And was Saoirse one of them? It's possible. I'm not going to sit here and speculate exactly what's going on, but that's for you to decide. I'm just showing you the numerical patterns that never fail to underlie these instances. So that's going to do it, guys. I think I am going to go live in a little bit. I want to talk about another news story that has to do with number permutation, a very interesting riddle I think I cracked. So that'll do it for this video. Thanks to everybody for watching. Peace, love, God bless. We will talk to you soon. See ya.